When I got Highlander, I'd done about a year of training for some sword work, not a huge amount. I'd studied kickboxing and boxing, and when I got the series, I actually went on to, you know, sort of learn from Bob Anderson, who was the guy that he taught everybody from he did Darth Vader, he did the Highlander, he did Princess Bride. He did so many different shows. He died a couple of years ago, but I learned from him. He was my first real sword instructor teacher. He taught the Olympic fencing team for 30 years. So he had a lot of knowledge, and then I went on to continue to train with Japanese and Chinese and Korean different styles, as well as Filipino stick fighting and stuff. So I like to vary things up a little bit. It's different. Fencing's different. I mean, but they both use footwork. People don't understand with martial arts, you have to use your footwork. Um, and so, and sometimes people get into positions in martial arts and they don't know quite why they're using them. And that was always interesting to me. And so I would always see learning martial arts and applying it to a sword work was interesting because it allowed you to see a fight in a 360 rather than just forward and back. You know, a certain move could apply to several different things, as could do a hand move. So that's how I approach it. There's similarities in martial. I mean, some of my katas are from my martial art background, which is Hung Gar Kung Fu, um, and so some of the techniques I used in Highlander, a knife fight. I actually adapted a knife fight from a hand kata, hand form, because it's the same thing. You know, you block like this. If I blocked you with a knife and then brought you down, it's the same movement. So you can adapt a weapon to a hand. Unarmed combat is an extension of armed combat. I trained a lot. I mean, I trained a lot. You know, it was even when I wasn't filming or rehearsing, I was training. And so when I'd get off 3 months of being off the series, I'd be training, you know, 3 to 4 days a week on martial arts or sword work. The Me teaching it, I'm teaching an experience. I'm teaching you something that is part of a whole experience because I don't have time to go every single week to teach them. There are a lot of other teachers out there that can teach you a specific form, whether it is espada y daga, saber, fencing, foil, any of those forms. There are teachers out there. What I'm giving people is an experience in a movie fight. So in other words, if you like a fight, like on Highlander, I will take a space that is a really interesting space and put a fight choreography in that space so you can get a taste of what it's like to actually be in the movies, in a sense. So there are a lot of different things that we incorporate in a sword experience, which, you know, I think is going to evolve into different genres as well, because there's so many different ones now, like Star Wars and Into the Badlands and Game of Thrones, and the different techniques of swords. So, you know, if I then decide to go and take one of my sword experiences and make it a Star Wars theme, I would blacken it out, create it, and maybe use bokens as the lightsabers as the sword of choice. They're exactly the same movements, but different weapons. No, anybody can join the sword experience. That's why I didn't want to call it a class. I want to call it an experience. So whether and I've had it last year. I did 6 classes around the country, experiences around the country, and I had martial artists. I had total people that never picked up a sword in their life before. I had experienced people that wanted to learn more about choreography in film, and so it was a variety of things. And I believe that, like an actor, you're not going to face somebody that's as experienced as you all the time. You might face a novice. So for me, it's like, okay, you get to learn how to adapt and respect the opponent in front of you. So that's really what I think part of the experience is about. It's about that, and it's about actually health style as well, because it is a training. So it is a physical. I'll show you different things where you actually will use movement, and you'll be using muscles. It's like going to the gym. It's not just, oh, I'm just going to do this. you're going to be repeatedly doing that same action, so it gets into your head. I need to do this, not this or this. You have to be able to do it a certain way, and you only do that through repetition. Because there's two types of experience. The sword experience is the one that we're launching in Temecula on April 10th. That one is an experience, an all-day experience. So there will be a light breakfast in the morning, 4.5 hours of sword training and dialogue. Then there will be lunch. There'll be a boken that's included in it, that's signed, as well as a certificate that you've gone through the class. Then there's, as I said, lunch. And then there's wine tasting. Then there's music. Then there's discounts on wines. There's a whole package. Whereas the con experience is a different package, because that's only a 2.5 hour experience with other goodies put into it, and it doesn't cost as much to put on. This year I'll be doing at least, let me think, I'm doing Temecula, Chicago. What's next? Houston, London, Stuttgart, Pensacola. Then I've got definitely Minneapolis, and probably another 2 that I've already talked about, maybe another. So there'll be 9 or 10 this year. It'll be a monthly event. I would like to do it monthly. From now on, we're going to be doing one event a month in different locations. So that's our plan. And if it goes well, we'll do 2 a month. Or we'll do double classes in one location. Well, I think the thing to know about the sword experience, anybody can do it. And whether you're a martial artist, a cosplayer, or whether you're into Star Wars, Game of Thrones, or Highlander, it will give you something different and allow you to sort of take something away that's useful to you, but also that you've had a good time that day. Because that's what I want. I want you to have a really good time at the places that we take you to.